fresh attack by suspected herdsmen in the Yelwata area of Benue State has left 3 people dead and 3 others critically injured while working on their farms. The early morning assaults sparked immediate outrage, with women in the community protesting what they describe as the military's failure to respond promptly, forcing the police and local youths to mobilize and repel the attackers. Matthew Mnyam, former government official, confirmed the incident and the ongoing protest. He revealed that attempts to persuade the women to clear the federal highway connecting Benue and Nasarawa states were rejected as they demand that soldiers leave their communities for alleged negligence. We turn now to security analyst Dr Aminu Hayatu, a senior lecturer in the Department of Political Science, Benue University. Thank you for being here. It's Yelwata again, and this time the locals say they've had enough, not only of the attacks, but also of the soldiers whom they accuse of sitting on their arms and watching them get killed. What could be wrong here?
Okay, again, thank you for having me. And I think if you recall, the last time we had an interview on this issue of Yelwata attack, I specifically mentioned to you when you told me that the president has ordered the chief of army staff to relocate to Benue State. And I said that was just a kind of wishy-washy arrangement and eye service that is not going to last. And I told you that historically we've seen this kind of instructions given to chief of army staff to relocate, but in the end, when the issue is over and life has returned to normalcy, the soldiers will disappear. Yelwata, has shown signals that these attacks are not over, because majority of the people in those communities have relocated to the internally displaced persons camps. And, those who had, remained in the villages had remained in order to continue with some of the activities that they could do, near the major road. But the attackers have not actually retreated in the real sense. And the security officials of Nigeria knew too well that this kind of attacks have happened and have reoccurred, shortly after, normalcy was restored in some of these communities that experienced these attacks. It is very unfortunate that the security outfit in Nigeria is not reliable. Benue, there are conflict zones that have red flags. Benue, Plateau, some parts of Kaduna, and then in the northwest, Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, and all of that have already shown that they have become volatile. And the attention of the security agents is supposed to be concentrated in these areas, while of course they pay attention to other, signaling areas. But it's unfortunate that just barely a month after the attack, we are experiencing, 2 months, we're experiencing,
you're quite correct in that. Yeah, you're quite correct in that. Just less than 2 months ago, the president was there, and a lot was promised. The chief of defense staff did say that, in part, that locals fed wrong intelligence to the military. How come the gaps that were noticed, the promises that were made, have not been addressed? What are we missing?
If you are a Nigerian, you will bear witness that these kinds of empty promises have always been made and they have never been kept. Promises of investigations, promises of arrests, promises of prosecutions, failure to, take responsibility for the failure of security. You remember the Nigerian state. Nigeria is a signatory to the international human rights law and the international humanitarian law, which demands that and which takes Nigeria to have responsibility for the protection of people within its territory. But that obligation, has actually been a dashed hope for Nigerians, because the Nigerian state has not been able to protect civilians, within these territories. Anytime attackers want to attack, they do attack. and they kill when they want to kill. You know, you hardly see a situation whereby even attacks are being foiled. This is simply because, you know, the security architect in Nigeria is one that is not such coordinated in a way that even these attacks will be detected. Once attacks have happened, all the attention from the presidency to the security outfits to all political shows will happen in the state. Promises will be made, but they have never been fulfilled. And this is an evidence to know that, you know, the security architecture of Nigeria is not ready.
Okay, but these women, these women asking soldiers to leave their communities, is that the way to go? To look at it again, somebody did predict that there will be an attack in August at New Centre's town hall, recently held in Benue in July, just a few weeks ago. How come intelligence cannot be garnered from such gatherings to help, you know, address the situation? But importantly, is the action of these women the best course of action at this time?
No, but you must look at it from the angle of the people and the women. These protesters, they have a meaning to their protest. What they are ultimately saying is that the presence of the security agents of the Nigerian army there is of no use to them. So they would rather have the Nigerian army, you know, leave their communities so that they can know that they are truly vulnerable. And this is a simple message. What else do you expect them to do? They are not going to, you know, engage in killings or fight with anybody. What they can do is to come to the streets and protest so that they send this message. And, you know, it is because of they understand that there is a lack of political will in the whole thing. It's not that the Nigerian army does not have the intelligence, you know, to detect, you know, some of these, even the plans on the attacks and, you know, the activities involved that leading to the attacks. But because of the lack of political will, which entails, you know, this lack of ability to be proactive whenever something is about to happen. The usual way that the Nigerian security operate is that they always react. They respond to problems when they have already happened. Too many people have been killed in this country, you know, out of these kinds of attacks. And it is still happening. And there doesn't seem to be any sign that it will be tackled because of, you know, the violence of the attacks.
There is an agreement among your peers that at the heart of our problem is the strength of leadership, the will, like you've said, to do what is needed. We'll continue to hope, and hopefully you speak up and the government will listen. Thank you, as always, for being here.